The story begins deep in the heart of Africa, where all the animals live together in peace and harmony. One morning, they gather outside a giant rock formation, and that's when the wise mandrill, Rafiki, arrives. He performs the royal ceremony for King Mufasa's newborn son, Simba. Holding him high above the cliff, Rafiki announces to the entire kingdom that Simba will one day become their next king. The animals cheer in excitement, but not everyone is happy. We meet Scar, Mufasa's younger brother, who is secretly hunting a mouse in the shadows. Zazu, the loyal hornbill who serves Mufasa, arrives and reminds Scar that the king is coming. Annoyed, Scar attacks Zazu, but Mufasa shows up just in time. Mufasa asks, "Why didn't you come to Simba's presentation?" Scar lies, saying he simply forgot, but the truth is, he skipped the ceremony on purpose. He can't stand the idea of Simba becoming king, because Scar wants the throne for himself. Mufasa warns him, "Don't betray me again. Simba will be king after me." Scar storms off angrily. That night, Rafiki draws Simba's face on a tree, smiling with joy over the future king. The next morning, Simba wakes up early, excited because Mufasa promised to take him on a morning adventure. He wakes his father eagerly. Mufasa takes Simba to the top of Pride Rock and says, "Look, Simba, everything the light touches is our kingdom. A king's time rises and sets like the sun. One day, the sun will set on my time here and rise with you as the new king." Simba can't believe it. "This will all be mine?" Mufasa explains, "A king's power isn't about taking. A real king looks at what he can give. All creatures, the crawling ant and the leaping antelope, are connected in the great circle of life." Simba argues, "But we eat the antelope." Mufasa smiles and explains, "Yes, but when we die, our bodies become grass, and the antelope eat the grass. So everything is connected by an unseen bond." Just then, Zazu arrives with news. Hyenas were spotted hunting in the Pride Lands. Mufasa rushes to stop them, and Simba tries to follow, but Mufasa tells him to stay home and asks Zazu to watch over him. Simba proudly tells his uncle, "When I'm king, you'll have to do whatever I say. Dad even showed me the whole kingdom today." Scar smirks and says, "He showed you everything, except the elephant graveyard, I'm sure." Simba replies, "He told me never to go there." Scar pretends to agree. Yes, he's right. It's very dangerous. Where elephants go to die, definitely no place for a cub. But Scar is saying this on purpose. He wants Simba to go there, because it's part of his plan to get rid of him. Simba goes home, and his mother Sarabi begins grooming him lovingly. Simba asks Nala if she wants to go to the watering hole, and Sarabi agrees, but makes sure Zazu accompanies them. As they head out, Simba, Nala, and Zazu sing and play, full of energy. But halfway there, Simba and Nala trick Zazu and slip away, heading straight toward the elephant graveyard, a dark, lifeless place filled with giant bones scattered everywhere. Nala gets nervous and says, "Simba, we're too far from home. We should go back." But Simba doesn't listen. He proudly says, "We made it to the elephant graveyard. No one can call us babies now." Both of them feel like someone is watching, but they see nothing, so they continue forward. Suddenly, hyenas surround them from all sides. Their leader Shenzi steps forward and snarls, "Looks like today's our lucky day. We get to eat a prince." Simba stands tall and says, "You can't touch me. I'm the future king." Shenzi laughs. Mufasa's rules don't apply here. Just as she's about to attack, Zazu swoops in and shouts, "Stop! Let them go! They made a mistake. If you harm them, the king will hunt you down." Shenzi growls, "Hyenas and lions have been enemies forever, so today we end Mufasa's bloodline." She lunges at them. Zazu tackles one hyena and yells, "Run!" Simba and Nala sprint into a narrow tunnel as the hyenas chase after them. They race through the dark passage, barely escaping claws and teeth. They come out the other side, but the hyenas surround them again. And then, Mufasa arrives like a thunderstorm. He roars, slams the hyenas away one by one, and stands protectively over the cubs. The hyenas freeze in fear. Mufasa growls, "If you ever dare look at my son again, you'll answer to me." Shenzi trembles. "We made a mistake. Please forgive us." Mufasa gives them a final warning and leads the cubs away. He takes them to a quiet cliffside and tells Zazu to escort Nala home. Zazu whispers, "Don't be too hard on the boy." But Mufasa replies, "A father's job is to teach." Zazu flies away with Nala. Simba walks over to his father nervously. Mufasa looks down at him and says, "You disobeyed me on purpose. You could have died, and worse, you put Nala in danger. Do you understand how serious this is?" Simba lowers his head. "I just wanted to show you that I'm brave, like you." Mufasa kneels beside him. "Being brave doesn't mean looking for trouble. You're only brave when you face danger because you have to." Simba says softly, "But you're never scared." Mufasa's voice cracks. "Today, I was terrified. I thought I might lose you." Simba realizes his mistake, and the two begin playing together again, rolling around in the grass. Later, they lie under the night sky. Simba asks, "We're friends, right? We'll always be together?" Mufasa smiles and tells him, "My father once told me something. The great kings of the past looked down on us from the stars. Whenever you feel alone, Simba, just remember, they're always watching over you." Simba stares at the sky and says, "But I don't see anyone." Mufasa smiles softly, "Just keep looking." Meanwhile, back in the elephant graveyard, Scar meets with the hyenas. He mocks them. "You leave nothing here. Not even a bug survives. Yet when I sent 2 cubs here, they came back alive." The hyenas snarl. What do you want, Scar? Scar smirks. I'm here to offer you a feast that lasts forever. Shenzi laughs. You, a beggar? What could you possibly give us? Scar's grin widens. I will give you every animal in the Pride Lands. All of them, yours to hunt. Shenzi snaps. You don't own the Pride Lands. Scar replies, not yet, but if we work together, we can get rid of the king. And when I become ruler, you'll get all the hunting you want. The hyenas look at each other and agree. They join Scar's evil plan, ready to overthrow Mufasa. The next morning, we see Simba and Scar standing in the gorge. Simba looks sad and says, Uncle Scar, Dad is still angry because of what I did yesterday. Scar gently replies, and that's exactly why we're here. This is the perfect spot to practice your roar. If you roar loud enough to shake the whole canyon, your father will be thrilled. Your father practiced right here when he was your age. Simba gets excited and begins practicing. Scar smiles because this is all part of his trap. He walks away, then signals the hyenas. Moments later, they unleash a massive herd of wildebeest into the canyon. The ground shakes, dust rises, and suddenly, the entire gorge explodes into chaos. Simba hears the thunder of hooves and turns to see thousands of wildebeest charging straight at him. Terrified, he runs for his life and jumps onto a small tree branch hanging over the canyon wall. Meanwhile, Scar rushes to Mufasa and acts shocked. There's a stampede in the gorge. Simba is down there. Without wasting a second, Mufasa races toward the canyon. Simba hangs from the thin branch as the stampede rages below. Zazu reaches him and says, hold on, I'll get the king. Zazu flies back and alerts Mufasa. Mufasa dives straight into the deadly stampede. He grabs Simba, throws him onto a safe rock ledge, but the wildebeest slam into him, dragging him back into the herd. Simba screams for him. Then, with one giant leap, Mufasa climbs up the cliff, digging his claws into the rock, fighting to survive. He reaches the top, barely holding on, and Scar is waiting there. Mufasa gasps, Scar, brother, help me. Scar digs his claws into Mufasa's paws, leans in and whispers, long live the king. He throws Mufasa off the cliff. Simba watches helplessly as his father falls to his death. Simba runs to Mufasa's lifeless body. He nudges him, pushes him, tries to wake him, but Mufasa doesn't move. Confused, terrified, and heartbroken, Simba calls for help, but no one comes. He curls up next to his father, crying. Then Scar arrives, pretending to be devastated. Simba, what have you done? Your father trusted you, loved you, and now because of you he's gone. Simba sobs. I didn't mean to. I didn't know. Scar continues poisoning him with guilt. What will your mother think? That her own son caused this? Simba trembles. What should I do? Scar's voice becomes cold. Run away, Simba. Run, and never return. Simba runs. Scar then sends the hyenas after him. Kill him. The hyenas chase Simba across rocks and cliffs. He climbs up to a high ledge, but the ground collapses beneath him. Simba slips and falls down a steep slope and disappears into thorn bushes. The hyenas look down and assume he's dead. Looks like the kid didn't survive, they say, and they leave. But Simba is alive, bruised and alone. He slowly gets up and walks into the desert, leaving the Pride Lands behind. Scar returns to Pride Rock, pretending to mourn. He announces, Mufasa and young Simba are gone. He acts heartbroken and says, if only I had reached the gorge in time, maybe I could have saved my brother. Then he steps onto the king's rock and declares himself the new ruler of the Pride Lands. Hyenas pour into the kingdom, roaring in celebration. Meanwhile, Rafiki and Zazu witness everything from afar. They too believe Simba has died. Far away from the Pride Lands, we see Simba wandering through the scorching desert. Exhausted, dehydrated, he collapses in the sand and falls asleep. Soon, vultures circle above him, ready to feast. But suddenly, a warthog charges in and scares them away. This warthog is Pumbaa, and with him is his best friend Timon, a meerkat with a loud mouth and an even louder personality. When Timon realizes Simba is a lion cub, he panics and hides behind Pumbaa. But Pumbaa says, relax, he's just a kid. Imagine when he grows up, we'll have a lion on our team. We'll be unstoppable. Timon's eyes light up. Okay, let's keep him. Just then Simba wakes up. Pumbaa proudly says, we saved your life from those vultures, kid. But Simba replies, it doesn't matter. None of this matters. Timon and Pumbaa realize something is bothering him. They ask, what's eating you, kid? Simba quietly says, I made a terrible mistake and I can never go back. Pumbaa shrugs. Hey, mistakes happen to everybody. Timon adds, so our rule is simple. No worries. Forget the past and just enjoy your life. And with their motto, Hakuna Matata, they take Simba to their home, a lush, beautiful jungle filled with waterfalls and shade. For the first time in days, Simba smiles. The trio sings, jokes, and eats together. Soon they introduce Simba to their menu. They crack open a log filled with big, wriggly bugs. Timon bites one and says, trust me, they're crunchy yet satisfying. Simba hesitates, but he tries one, and surprisingly, he likes it. Time passes. Simba grows into a strong adult lion, but he remains best friends with Timon and Pumbaa, living a carefree, happy life in the jungle. Meanwhile, back at the Pride Lands, everything has changed. Scar rules with the hyenas, and the land has turned bleak and dry. Hyenas hunt freely and recklessly. Animals starve. Hope is fading. Nala, now grown up, is deeply worried. She tells Queen Sarabi, Scar is destroying everything. We need to leave and find help. But Sarabi replies, this is our home. home. We don't abandon it. Just then, Shenzi arrives and says, the king wants to see you. Sarabi faces Scar. Scar reminds her, years ago you chose Mufasa over me, but now I am the king. Be my queen or no one will respect your pride. Sarabi glares back. I will never be your queen. Scar roars in anger. That night, Nala sneaks out. She can't take it anymore. She must find help. Scar catches her scent, but Zazu distracts him just in time, allowing Nala to escape into the darkness. Back in the jungle, Simba is living a peaceful life. He laughs, plays, and feeds the smaller animals. But when night falls, he looks up at the stars and remembers his father. The guilt still haunts him. A single strand of Simba's mane blows away, travels across landscapes, and eventually reaches Rafiki. The moment he sees it, his eyes widen. Simba, he's alive. Rafiki dances with joy. Meanwhile, Timon and Pumbaa are singing in the jungle when suddenly, a lioness pounces on Pumbaa. Timon screams and runs for his life. Pumbaa tries to escape, but the lioness corners him, and just as she's about to deliver the killing blow, Simba leaps in and saves him. Simba and the lioness begin fighting until Simba suddenly realizes this lioness is Nala. They stop immediately. Both are shocked and overwhelmed with joy. Nala can't believe Simba is alive. Simba hugs her tightly, smiling for the first time in years. He proudly introduces her to Timon and Pumbaa. These two are my best friends. Then Simba shows Nala the jungle. This place is amazing, he says. You can stay here. You'll have everything you need. But Nala shakes her head. Simba, we have to go home. Scar has teamed up with the hyenas. He's taken over the Pride Lands. You're the true king. You have to return. Simba instantly refuses. No, I'm not going back. He tries to convince Nala to stay instead, but she won't. Still, Simba takes her around the jungle. The beauty of the place wins her over for a moment. They laugh, play, and explore together. As they spend time together, their childhood friendship blossoms into love. But Nala asks quietly, if you're alive, why didn't you come home? Simba, we need you. Your mother needs you. Simba looks away. Everything's fine without me. No one needs me back there. Nala's voice breaks. You're the king. Scar has destroyed the Pride Lands. There's no food, no water, and you're willing to do nothing. Simba whispers, I can't change anything, Nala. She stares at him in disbelief. So you won't even return for your own mother? Simba snaps. Bad things happen. There's nothing I can do. Nala shakes her head. I came all this way for help, and asking you was my biggest mistake. She walks away. Simba stands alone, hurt and ashamed. That night, he wanders off, thinking about Nala's words. Suddenly, Rafiki finds him. Simba asks, who are you? Rafiki laughs. The question is, who are you? Simba sighs. I'm nobody. Even a nobody can be something great. I knew you when you were a cub, and your father, Mufasa, is still alive. I'll show you. He leads Simba to a quiet pond. Look into the water. Look deeper. At first, Simba sees only his reflection, but then he sees Mufasa's face shining back at him. The clouds shift, and Mufasa's voice echoes from the sky. Simba, you must find your place in the circle of life. Remember who you are, and the greatest pride of my life was having you as my son. Simba reaches out. Don't leave me again. Mufasa's voice fades gently. I never left you, Simba, and I never will. Remember who you are. The sky clears. Simba finally understands. Rafiki asks again, so who are you? Simba stands tall. I am Simba, son of Mufasa. He roars with everything he has, a roar filled with destiny, a roar worthy of a king. He finds Nala and she lights up. Simba, together they sprint toward the Pride Lands. What they see shocks them. Their home is dying. Nala asks, what now? Simba takes a deep breath. My father taught me everything the light touches, I'm meant to protect. If I don't fight for it, who will? Zazu arrives and is stunned. Simba, you're alive. Right behind him, Timon and Pumbaa show up too. Zazu bows and says, we're with you, to the very end. Meanwhile, Scar is threatening Sarabi again. He roars at her, until Simba steps out of the shadows and says, stay away from my mother. Scar turns, sees Simba, and freezes in fear. Sarabi turns and sees Simba, and for a moment, the entire Pride Lands feel alive again. She rushes to him, wraps him in her arms, and whispers, my son, you came back. Scar walks towards Simba with his usual mocking smile. Well then, Simba, why don't you tell everyone who caused Mufasa's death? Simba lowers his eyes. It was an accident. Scar circles him like a snake. Accident? A son who couldn't even save his own father? If he wasn't loyal to Mufasa, why would he ever be loyal to you? The crowd murmurs. Scar pushes Simba toward the cliff's edge. The ground shakes as thunder roars above them. Lightning strikes. Fire erupts along the rocks, spreading flames all around them. Scar leans in and whispers, this scene looks familiar, doesn't it? Your father hung from this very rock, and before he fell, he looked at me the same way. Then Scar says the words Simba never expected to hear. I killed Mufasa. Simba's eyes ignite with rage. He leaps, grabs Scar by the neck, and climbs back up to the cliff. Everyone gasps. The truth is out. Scar panics and screams at the hyenas. Attack them. Kill them all. That's when the battle begins. Simba's friends and the lionesses charge in. Timon, Pumbaa, Zazu, Rafiki, everyone joins the fight. The Pride Lands shake with roaring, clawing, and the wild chaos of war. One by one, the hyenas fall back. Realizing the battle is lost, Scar tries to escape, but Simba chases him up a tall cliff. There's nowhere left to run. Scar trembles. Simba, forgive me. Please, it wasn't my fault. The hyenas, they forced me. I was going to stop them, I swear. Simba growls. You betrayed them. You betrayed me. You betrayed everyone. Scar pleads. What are you going to do? Kill your own uncle? No, I'm nothing like you. Run away, Scar. Run away and never return. Scar pretends to obey. He throws burning embers into Simba's eyes and leaps forward. The final fight begins. They wrestle in the flames, claw against claw, until Simba kicks Scar off the cliff. Scar survives the fall, barely, but the hyenas surround him. They remember every lie he told them, every time he blamed them, every time he betrayed them. You were going to kill us, Shenzi growls. Scar tries to escape, but the hyenas drag him into the darkness, and Scar is gone. Rain begins to fall. The flames die. The Pride Lands breathe again. Simba climbs Pride Rock, looks over his kingdom, and lets out a mighty, powerful roar. A roar that brings the Pride Lands back to life. Grass grows, rivers return, and life begins again. Time passes. Simba and Nala stand together at the top of Pride Rock, with their newborn cub in their arms. Rafiki lifts the baby high above the kingdom, introducing the next heir to the circle of life. Every animal bows in joy. A new king will rise one day, and the circle continues. If this journey touched you the way it touched me, hit that like button and share it with someone who needs a reminder. You're stronger than your past, and your light can still change everything.